I'm Christy Duffy for Smart Trend News. AT&T reporting its earnings on Wednesday. The company put out an EPS of 42 cents per share, including charges from healthcare legislation, and revenue of $30.65 billion. The street's expectations were for earnings of 54 cents per share and revenue of $30.75 billion. With me to speak about the numbers and what investors should watch out for with AT&T is senior analyst from Argus Research, Joe Bonner. Hi, Joe. Thanks for being with us today.
Hello, Christy. How are you?
Good. What were your forecasted earnings and revenue for the company, and were you pleased or disappointed?
I was fairly pleased. They had a fairly good quarter. Not including the non-cash charge, they actually beat consensus, and actually even my estimate, coming in at 59 cents. And they also actually reported actual revenue growth for the first time in over a year, a modest, 0.3%, but still revenue growth, but nonetheless. So all in all, a fairly strong quarter. There are some caveats to that, of course. Postpaid subscribers came in a little lighter than I would have expected. The net subscriber additions, and we're still everyone's still wondering about what happens with the iPhone.
Of course.
Yeah, whether the iPhone ever goes non-exclusive.
Right.
The iPhone continues to be a blockbuster product for them, a huge product, a huge handset offering for them.
Well, if they did lose their deal with Apple later this year, or the company moves to expand to include another wireless company such as Verizon, how deep of an impact do you think that would have as far as AT&T's numbers go?
It's a negative impact for them. That would be a negative for them, certainly.
Do you have any idea, percentage-wise, of exactly how deeply that would impact their revenues for the rest of the year, whatever quarter that could potentially happen in?
It's unclear when this is going to happen, or if this is going to happen. So I don't have I don't have a quantitative number for you as to how it would impact, but I can certainly tell you that it would be a substantial negative.
One of the reasons that many subscribers are reluctant to switch to AT&T is due to the accumulation of complaints regarding the service and dropped calls. Did the company outline any plans on their conference call today as to how they will strengthen their network within the United States?
Sure. They've been talking about that since December, January, at least a few months already.
Were there any new developments on the call that they lay out any kind of a plan of exactly what they might do to try to help improve service and increase confidence?
They're rolling out a number of technical modifications. Without getting into too much detail, the cell tower backhaul. They're putting fiber into the cell towers. They're adding capacity onto the network. So basically, I think they said they were investing $1 billion in wireless this year. So I mean, so they are working on the problem, and they have some metrics on the call that showed, according to those dropped calls, kind of customer satisfaction metrics, that it is improving. And it's not. I don't think it's where they or anyone else wants it to be quite yet, but they are certainly working on the problem.
Okay, well, what about their international iPhone business? I mean, their international iPhone business itself is growing in terms of sales far faster than its U.S. sales numbers, although U.S. numbers are still extremely good for Apple. But AT&T, did they mention any plans on their call in terms of how they could potentially gain on international growth with the iPhone?
No, I don't think they have. No, that's not. I don't think they're in that game, frankly.
Okay. Other than what I've mentioned so far, is there any other indicators that investors should be paying attention to over the course of the next quarter and the next year? Any key growth drivers?
Well, it's just like I talked about, postpaid subscriber net additions, UVerse subscriber net additions. Those are their key drivers, and obviously broadband data, whether wireless or wired broadband data revenue. Those are the key drivers for them.
Okay, so what would be your guidance and recommendation on the stock? Is this a buy or a sell? A buy. Even long term, if potentially they get dropped by the iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Joe, for taking the time to speak with us today. We'll have to leave it there. Joe Bonner is a senior financial analyst for Argus Research, and he covers media and telecommunication groups. For more earnings news and detail on AT&T, visit our website, tradethetrend.com. You can also find more analyst insight there, as well as here on our YouTube channel, Trade the Trend.